Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, there lived a father known for his wisdom and kindness. But his two daughters, despite being raised in the same home, couldn't have been more different from one another. One was ambitious, full of dreams and fire. The other, quiet and humble, rarely speaking her mind. But one day, something strange happened that would change their lives forever. The father, named Olden, had always been a man of great influence in his village. His counsel was sought after by everyone, and he was known for solving the most complex problems with his sharp mind and thoughtful heart. He had two daughters. Lyra, the older one, was a bright and bold woman, determined to leave a mark on the world. She dreamed of becoming a renowned scholar, a name whispered in the halls of kings and scholars. And then there was Zora, the younger daughter, known for her quiet demeanor and deep, introspective nature. Zora loved to read, but she never made her ambitions known to anyone. While Lyra's head was always in the clouds, dreaming of far-off lands, Zora was content to remain in the present, surrounded by the beauty of the simple things around her. One morning, a grand competition was announced in the village, a test of wit and wisdom, where the winner would gain a wealth of gold and a position as the royal advisor to the king. The prize was so grand it had the entire village buzzing. Everyone believed Lyra would win, given her sharp intellect and ambitious nature. But Zora, as usual, was silent. She didn't care for such competitions and had no interest in the riches. Yet her father, who had seen something in her beyond what the world could see, urged her to enter. "Why should I, father?" Zora asked gently, sitting at their kitchen table, looking up at her father's wise eyes. "Because, my dear," Olden smiled, "sometimes the world needs to see things from a different perspective. Don't worry about the outcome. Just show them who you are." Lyra, overhearing the conversation, was quick to speak up. "Father, why would you suggest such a thing? Zora has no interest in this. I will win the prize easily." Her tone was confident, almost dismissive of her younger sister's quiet nature. "Let her make her choice," Olden replied calmly, his voice filled with patience. "She will decide for herself." Zora, though hesitant, decided to participate in the competition, but not for the same reasons as her sister. While Lyra saw the prize as a means to prove her worth and showcase her intelligence, Zora simply wanted to understand the deeper meaning of the challenge, to see what wisdom could be gained beyond winning. The day of the competition arrived, and the village square was filled with people. The king himself was present, eager to see who would be crowned the smartest. Lyra took her place at the front of the crowd, radiating confidence. Zora, however, stood in the back, watching quietly, waiting for her moment. The test began with a riddle, followed by a series of intricate puzzles and tasks that required immense intelligence, logic, and strategy. Lyra breezed through each one, impressing the crowd with her quick thinking. Zora, on the other hand, struggled. She stumbled through a few of the tasks, seeming as though she was failing miserably. The audience whispered, some even snickered, and Lyra's smug grin grew wider with every mistake Zora made. It seemed like a foregone conclusion. Zora was out of her depth. But then, just when Lyra was about to be declared the winner, the final task was revealed. The king stood tall and announced the challenge. "The final task is to solve a problem that has puzzled us all for years. It is not a question of logic, but of understanding. The problem is, what is the one thing that no one can live without, but which cannot be touched, seen, or bought?" Lyra, thinking she had the answer, quickly blurted out, "Knowledge, of course. Without knowledge, we cannot survive." The king shook his head gently. "No, my dear. Knowledge is valuable, but it is not the answer." The crowd murmured in confusion. Lyra's face fell as she realized her answer wasn't the correct one. Zora, still standing quietly in the back, stepped forward. She looked up at the king and said softly, "It is love. Love is the one thing that no one can live without. We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, and we cannot buy it. Yet it is the most essential part of our lives. Without it, we would be nothing." A hush fell over the crowd. The king's eyes softened and he nodded. "You have answered correctly, young one. The crowd, stunned by Zora's unexpected answer, now looked at her with admiration. They had all thought she was simply a quiet, reserved girl who lacked ambition. But in her simplicity, she had seen something that no one else could. She had found the true wisdom in life, the love that connects all of us, the invisible force that sustains us, even in our darkest hours. People may think you are foolish, but true wisdom is often misunderstood, the king said, addressing the gathered villagers. In life, you must sometimes look beyond the obvious, the loud and the flashy, and instead listen to the quiet, steady truths that others overlook. Zora has taught us that wisdom doesn't always come from the mind. Sometimes it comes from the heart. Zora's simple yet profound insight changed the way the villagers saw her. They had underestimated her because she didn't show off her intelligence the way others did. But in the end, it was her quiet reflection and understanding of life's deeper truths that won her the respect and admiration of everyone. And as for Lyra, she learned a valuable lesson that day. It wasn't always about being the loudest or the smartest. Sometimes the deepest wisdom comes from silence and humility. If you found this story insightful, like and share this video so more people can learn from it. Remember, wisdom comes in many forms, and sometimes it's the quietest voices that hold the most truth. See you next time for another powerful story.